Justin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How's it going today? I hope you're having a great day out there. Well, today I want to talk about how to pay less tax in retirement, sort of a random kind of thing that we're coming up with here. There's so many little things that we could cover, but this is called FinTips. This is a short series we do. We got a playlist on our YouTube channel where we try to make the videos sort of short just to get right to the point and go from there. We're considering doing more of a longer class for our retirees or people that are very close to retirement. Let me know if that's something that you'd be more interested in as well. But today, we're talking about how to pay less tax in retirement. Here's the thing. This happens all the time. My retirees or people that are getting close to retirement, they're like, hey, Dustin, take a look at my 401k. I did good, right? It looks good? And I go, yeah, it looks great. Let's start strategizing about how you could pay as little tax as possible in retirement. And they go, what do you mean? That's my money. What are you talking about? I go, well, your 401k, I mean, the money coming out of there is pre-tax, right? It's going to be taxable. So let's try to pay as little as possible. Your Social Security, that's taxable as well. And everybody goes, oh, man. It's actually shocking how many people think Social Security is all free money and you may not have to pay tax on it. Well, that's just not the case. Give you an example. If you're married filing joint, and you have combined income over $44,000, then you could have to pay tax on as much as 85% of your Social Security benefits there. So careful, right? Something to consider about that. Now, this gets tricky because chances are over the lifetime of your savings, you likely probably, you've got a 401k or a 403b, something like that. You may have a Roth 401k in there. Now, a lot of those are popular. You got a lot of companies offering that as well. Chances are most of you have that. You may have a Roth IRA. You probably have an old IRA that was like a rollover IRA, right? If it's been long enough, you've been through some of this, you go, I got stuff everywhere, man. That's what I got here. You might have a taxable account in there from when you're trading earlier in your days where you got excited about trading. And so it starts to get a little bit tricky. Like, how do I finagle this so that I draw from the right vehicles to pay the least amount of tax? That's one of the things I have a lot of fun doing here. We actually don't let any of our customers who are about to retire, we don't let them just start taking checks. And I would urge you to do the same as well. You don't just retire and say, well, my money, here we go. Looks like I got enough. I'll take a little from here, a little from here. That's great. Look, when you're young, focus on the investments, swing for the fences, be aggressive, buy when the markets fall, don't get scared, pick the most aggressive things you can. But as you get older, your focus is like, okay, the investments need to slow down a little bit, right? I can't take that volatility. But now the strategy becomes, where does the money come from when I retire? Plan this out ahead of time. Please plan this out ahead of time, because there may be things you can do before you retire if you do the kind of right thing there. But anyways, we'll help you get your dough straight here. Here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to do a little homework, work with your financial advisor. If it happens to be us, work with us here as well. But you retire and you have some hodgepodge of mix of these different accounts here. You're going to figure out what percentage of your money comes out of the 401k. Let's say you have a monthly paycheck. Then you want to take out $4,000 a month. What percentage comes from the 401k? What percentage from the rollover? What percentage from the Roth? You're not just going to pick an account because it's the biggest and figure you're going to be okay, so I'll start dipping into that. One strategy may be to focus on the Roth IRA first. So we use a financial planning software here that we give to all of our customers, and we give it to them as if they are already a financial planner. We don't hold back any access here. So one of the things you find when we start working out their plan and they build it with us, we find that Roth IRA withdrawals are either first or last, right? There's no gray area with Roth IRAs. Now, the whole system helps us figure out why that is and how much tax we're saving and everything. But you want to figure out, does it make more sense to keep your income low on paper? Remember, Roth IRA withdrawals are not they're not reported. They're not taxable, right? It's all post-tax money. So is it better to keep your money post-tax initially and convert some of your pre-tax money? Does that make sense before you take Social Security? Or is it better off to say, okay, my unique situation means my Roth IRA comes last because later on in life it may start to affect my different eligibility for different government assistance, things like that. So that's a consideration. It's, of course, unique to the individual. That's why there's no general strategy for that out there. All right. So Roth IRA withdrawals, that's going to be the focus. Do I start taking from that, or do we put that off and we try to convert some of that money along the way there? Okay. Tip number 2, municipal bonds. in these accounts, somewhere along the way, you may have got sucked into municipal bonds. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I see the commercials out there, municipal bonds, tax-free income for life. Okay, they're not lying to you, but the problem is the IRS will count that as income when figuring your total combined income in relation to how much tax you're gonna pay on your Social Security. There's the gotcha, right? So you're making this money, tax-free interest, you get it, you spend it, you have a great time with it, and then you figure out, okay, well, we took some money out of my Roth, we took some money out of the 401k, that counts as taxable income, but we stayed under the $44,000, you had a taxable non-taxable interest that you collected throughout the year. That counts and could all of a sudden accidentally put you into a taxable situation with your Social Security, or raise the tax that you pay on your Social Security as well. So be careful there. Be careful there. Do a little math. Work with the financial advisor. If they're not reaching out to you, reach out to us. We're happy to help you. All right, last thing. This is a little bit interesting here, and one really key important part. Stay with me here. This one's really, really important because I see this all the time, and it's such a small, little, tiny rule that most people don't ever figure out. When you become 70 and a half, if you have a 401k, if you have a rollover IRA or a traditional IRA, these are pre-tax dollars, right? And so what the government says is when you reach a certain age, we're going to want you to start paying tax on that money. We let you defer tax for so long. Now we're going to ask you to start paying taxes, and we're going to force you to withdraw money little by little from it. In fact, as of now anyways, they say when you turn age 70 and a half, we're going to ask you to use a lifespan of 27 more years to do that. So you start having to, you're forced to pull money out of that. They're called RMDs. We've said them before. Well, how you pay less tax in retirement is by maybe focusing on those RMDs and saying that money is going to be my charitable gifts, right? So all my retirees, almost everyone that I can think of, they're all out there, they give to good causes, right? I mean, and you want to do the same thing. You want to get into retirement and just give to things that you believe in, is provided that it's in the budget and everything. But what I'm suggesting is you consider when you turn 70 and a half, use your RMDs as charitable donations. Now, I believe it's $100,000. I'm just trying to add extra stuff here, so don't hold me to this. But I believe you can give up to $100,000 of your RMDs to a charity. Now, this has to be an actual charity. A 501(c)(3) charity. Don't fall for, like, you know, man, my middle child, that's a charity right there. I give that guy so much money. That doesn't count. It's got to be a legitimate charity. But if you take those RMDs and you give them to a charity versus taking income that you already have and giving that to a charity, what happens there is those RMDs, they go to the charity. They're not taxable to you. It's not taxable income, and the IRS won't count it as taxable income when figuring out your combined income in relation to how much tax you're supposed to pay on Social Security. A lot of words there. Sorry if that doesn't mess with you. The important part is careful how you do this. Biggest gotcha here is right there, the 401k. Do not go to your 401k at age 70 and a half and say, I got to take RMDs. Let me take the RMDs over here to the charity, and somehow that's going to offset my total income for the family here. These do not count. It's amazing. The 401k and the traditional IRA are treated differently in the tax system. They're both pre-tax investment accounts, but in the tax system, they're treated differently, and that's one great example how they're treated differently. You roll over the money first to the IRA, then get that out, get all that money over there. Then those RMDs from an IRA, they can be given to a charity, and then it's not taxable income. It's not counted as total income for the year. Remember, it's got to be the IRA. The 401k does not count. If you're going to use that strategy or talk to your financial advisor about that, that's a good test for them. Go, hey, I'm thinking about using my RMDs to give to charity so that it doesn't hurt me Social Security tax-wise and keeps my combined income low. What do you think, Mr. Financial Advisor? And if they go, I love it, man, that makes sense. Talk with your accountant, blah, blah, blah. You go, you're fired. See the guy Jazz over here, I watched him. I'm going to move my account over to this guy because he's keeping track of stuff here. Please be very careful with that. I've seen that become a mistake. It is not fixable. There are certain times in the tax code where you can say, I'm sorry, government, I made a mistake. I'm going to fix it. I understand there may be a penalty or something, but I'd like to reverse that process so that I don't have to pay the penalty. And they'll say, okay, no problem. This is not one of those cases, so be sure to do that right. Anyways, that is a handful of ways that you could pay less tax in retirement. I hope that's very helpful for you. I hope you'll check us out later at 5 o'clock Eastern on our YouTube channel, Jazz Wealth Managers. We do what we call the Closing Beat. It's a live stock market update show where we go over the good, the bad, and the ugly that's happened in the markets for the day. I hope you'll join us there, and you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for thinking of us here at Jazz Wealth, and maybe we'll talk soon.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.